Hey, what's up, everyone? My name's Lionel. I'm your host for LT Productions, and you are watching I Watch You Watch. We are covering Sistas on BET. This is season 8, episode 20. We have a couple more episodes before the finale. Thank God. I appreciate everyone for coming to my channel. I know I've missed some episodes. Please forgive me. Please like this video. You can share it. You can also subscribe to my channel if you are new. Welcome aboard. And you can leave your comments below. So let's get into this episode. Now, I do not believe I'll be before you long because it wasn't too heavy or whatever. But we begin the episode with Andy. She's being congratulated as far as being one of the partners at her law firm. Of course, Fatima's there, and we know Robin is there. She does have some ideas as to how to boost business and move the company forward and all that good stuff. Fatima's there to cheer her on, and then she goes into her office. Robin lets Andy know that there's really nothing here keeping him here, and he'll be soon heading back to the UK office, unless there is something for him to hang on to. So we're about to return back to this Andy and Robin relationship. All I gotta say is bye. Because who really cares, Robin? Like, get back over to the UK. All of a sudden you got these feelings and stuff. No. Goodbye. Hayden comes into the office, and you can tell that he has humbled himself and has wished Andy well on her partnership. And Fatima is poking the bear as to what's wrong. It seems like you're in a lot of pain or something. He's like, no, I'm okay. It's just an old football injury. And Fatima said, oh, well, if everything's not okay, my cousin could. And Hayden said, no. I don't need your cousin. We're good. He leaves out the room. Fatima did come back in. Sorry about that. And then that's when Robin said what he had to say. The next scene, Sabrina and DeMonte. They're at the airport. We find out that they went to Turks and Caicos for a business thing, for the bank or whatever. Tony catches them in the airport, and of course, he's been very shady to Karen. I feel like the guys on this series have been more shady to the women, and then the women have been shady to them. Like, I don't know how many B's these women got to be. Like, is that how? I don't know. Dudes always calling a woman a B. Maybe some barbershop talk, It's just like, okay, but these are your romantic partners, and then you're going all extra hard and don't even know the whole story. And it's kind of weird sometimes when I hear these men talk. But anyways, he's questioning them as to what's going on and saying, what about Rich and da-da-da-da-da. And Sabrina said, hold all that. What about what you did to my friend Danny and all that stuff? She's been unemployed for over a month. And then all of a sudden he wants to back off and all that good stuff. And then he lets them go on about their business. Zach, he's at home and he's trying to figure out who stabbed Gary. He's come up with a new discovery whom he thinks has done it. He calls Fatima, but Fatima's in the office saying that she can't really talk right now. She's got a new client that's coming in, da-da-da-da-da. So he's like, no, I really think that this could be the. And she cuts him off and says that we'll talk about it later. Meanwhile, Hudson goes and visits Miss Marie. We find out that the stay of a power of attorney has been revoked from Hudson, despite Miss Marie trying to make sure that it stayed in place, and it's going to be given to Hayden. We find out that this was a deal between Hudson and Miss Marie. They've been in cohorts. He needed her help because of the FBI situation, and he wants them off of his butt. And she's in return that he was supposed to give over he was supposed to have power of attorney and then transfer all the money, I guess, from Gary into her account and all that good stuff. That has not transpired as of yet. So since the transfers going to Hayden, Hudson's like, well, what are you going to do for me? And Marie said, nothing. Oh, well, everything has not come through as it was supposed to. You didn't give me what I was supposed to give, and I can't give you what you need to happen. Now get out of here. So, that was the end of that. So, what do y'all think that Miss Marie's up to besides taking the money? Now, some people online saying, don't trust Miss Marie. But, I mean, Miss Marie's only doing something against Gary. Some people were talking about roots to riches. We'll get into that in just a second. But they think that Miss Marie should not be trusted there also. So we can segue into that. Pam is making this video as a marketing tool on social media. She's included Karen in on it, but Karen does not give any type of personality on camera. And Pam's really the selling point. And she's trying to encourage Karen, you know, you need to do this. And she said, look, I think that this should be yours. You should be the face of the brand. And I could just do all the stuff behind the scenes. It's not really my thing. Pam says, okay, and walks off. Miss Marie calls her and wants an update on what's going on and all that good stuff. She talks about her personal life first. And is she pursuing something with Aaron? And she said, yes. And she said, look, put you and them babies first. If he's not here to take all of you in, then it's okay to be alone. Da, 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 da. So then she gets on the whole business. Karen gives an update that they are upgrading their marketing techniques and all that good stuff to get in more business. And she said, you know, I need more. What about numbers? She said, I haven't gotten that together. And she said, look, Miss Marie was like, look, this needs to be in place in order for me to give you the $150,000 as far as investment. I want to see you grow. Y'all say not to trust Miss Marie, but she's giving these black women tools in order to grow. And they got to do their part in order for her to do her part. And it's just not this, here, I'm going to give this to you. No. I need to see that you mean what you say, and I need to also see that you stick through it and make things work. So I think that she's helping the sisters out. And she's doing something scandalous against Gary. And who cares about Gary? We want all. We want it all. We want all the things that happen to Gary. Gary gets out of the hospital. Hayden goes and gets him, pick him up. He has to, and he does tell him in regards to the power of attorney going over to him. Gary wants to walk out of the hospital, and he said, nope, nope, nope. You got to get in this wheelchair. So he finally agrees to do that. Del Monte escorts Sabrina back to her home. Del Monte wants a little bit more from Sabrina, and Sabrina says, look, I got some more complications stuff going on, and that's probably not going to be feasible for me. And Del Monte said, cool, I'll back off, blah, 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 blah. But you can tell that there's some type of connection there. Sabrina, she goes down to Rich's place, and they talk a little bit. Rich is still giving a very cold shoulder. Sabrina was like, so you just cut me off like that? No smoke signal, no. It's just final like that? Well, it's kind of final because you decided to make this decision about the baby. She said there was a lot of money invested, and I had to make a choice, and I did that. Rich don't really want to hear it. And honestly, I don't like Rich that much, but I'm just somewhat more on his side. It's like, Sabrina, you're making this very complicated for a relationship that I'm signed up for. You know, I think it was really crazy in the 11th hour that he all of a sudden wanted to have a child and all that good stuff. I think that was so crazy that you now wanted to step up. So, Rich, you had the get out of jail free card a while back. I don't feel sorry for you. Sorry. I don't know. It's like Rich can make some points because it's quite selfish in a way, but then you were selfish too because it still felt like you wanted ownership over Sabrina and didn't want this dude to win. That's just my opinion, but y'all can let me know what you guys think about that. Who else? Oh, Penelope goes and visits Jordan. Jordan's in jail. The last episode, Jordan tried to suffocate Gary. He's lost it all and basically has crashed out. He's going to be stuck there. Penelope lets him know that bail has been revoked, and the judge thinks that he is a flight risk because of his connections to the DNC. Jordan right now is feeling very down and he talks very pitiful and all that good stuff. Penelope's trying to encourage him, and she says, this is all Andy's fault. And I promise, when you get up out of here, we are going to get both Andy and Gary. Cool. It's so interesting because it's like part of the season Penelope was the guilty person, and now all of a sudden it didn't turn into Jordan. These two Bobsy twins, whatever you want to call them, they could go, unfortunately. But everything is Andy's fault. Andy's fault, according to Penelope. I think that there are some developments happening for season 9, at least for Andy. Andy's going to be still in the hot seat. Maybe not towards her job or whatever, but I think some people are going to be gunning for her. Next, and I think, well, almost final. Danny. Andy is going to be representing her. Their work labor lawyer is on maternity leave, so Andy's going to be filling in regards to that. She meets with Fatima first, and Fatima, Tony comes in with his team, with I think the HR person and also the lawyer. They go in for mitigation at this point. Fatima leaves out. She calls Zach, I think, or Zach calls her, whichever one. So they talk a little bit, and they say, hey, Zach was like, I think I know who was the one that did it to Gary. And she says, well, Jordan's in jail right now. He tried to suffocate Gary, so all roads lead back to him. So at this point, Fatima and Zach agree, let's take down the board and move on with our lives. Then they talk about Danny. Danny's being represented by Andy, and Zach says, I know that Andy's going to really do a good job and all that, Now we go into the mitigation, and Andy's pretty good. Danny did try to speak up and try to say some things, but Andy was like, before you say something crazy. Really, the whole pressure is on Tony at this point, that had to admit that he pushed this position and pulled his strings as vice president for his girlfriend that she didn't ask for. That caused this disturbance within the workplace. Beforehand, they never had any altercations and none of that good stuff, but because of him intervening and all that good stuff, this is what's going on. So at this point, we haven't gotten a conclusion of what's happening during this mitigation, but I don't think that it's going to go to trial or anything to that nature. I think it's probably going to be settled. I don't think Danny and Tony can come back from this. Does Danny need to take accountability for losing her cool? Yeah. I think it was very shitty of Tony to just leave this girl out hanging like that. Yeah, she's still got to work on her anger issues. But, sir, you have a responsibility in all of this. No, you didn't make her do what she did to that dude. But, dude, like, none of this would have been going on if you weren't in a relationship with this woman and then also pulling strings for her and making other people question your integrity to your role as vice president. I'm sorry, you do have a responsibility. But y'all tell me what y'all think, I think it is 2 more episodes before the finale, as I said before, so... I think in the next episode or the next episode after that, we're going to be revealed who actually is the stabber, and it's someone that catches Gary off guard, which is interesting. I'm surprised he doesn't have his antennas up. He did talk about that nurse that he thinks that he's in love with. So is she going to be a part of the storyline during season 9? Because she's quite nasty and perverted. But anyways, that's all I do have. Let me know your thoughts. Please like, share, and subscribe to this channel. And you can leave your comments below. Until the next one, peace.